Start with Mark. Mark, tell us about Alliance Construction and Design.
Well, Alliance Construction Design was founded in 2009 by Todd Parzik and Mark Verhaag, and we are a full-service design-build general contractor based in Green Bay, Wisconsin, servicing not only the state of Wisconsin, but also nationwide and worldwide. Today, Alliance Construction employs over 30 professionals and continues creating key partnerships across the globe. Another aspect that makes Alliance Construction unique is our green energy division, which develops waste-to-energy plant worldwide.
Now, you've worked on some very interesting projects lately. Just talk to us and tell us about those projects. They're really different from standard residential and commercial construction, aren't they?
Well, that's right. Currently, we're working with a pyrolysis-based waste-to-energy facility in Green Bay. It's going to dispose of about 150 ton of municipal solid waste, or MSW, per day basis, and convert that into about 5 megawatts of electrical power per hour. This is enough electricity, approximately, if you put it in perspective, about 3,000 to 5,000 homes worth of power per day.
Wow. Now, what was that first word you used? I've never heard that before, and I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well, pyrolysis is basically the decomposition of waste materials in a oxygen-free environment. So basically, we heat the outside of the materials, and so the flame never touches the materials, and it breaks it down into its original elements. And when that happens, gases come off. And the gases that we collect, we actually use in a generator.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like the idea of methane, kind of a situation. I mean, that's what, as an ordinary person here, I'm starting to relate that to. Am I close, or is it?
Exactly. We're actually doing what a landfill does. It breaks the materials down and they collect the gases off. But in this situation, we're actually forcing it to happen. In a landfill, that can happen over a period of 25 to 30 years.
Okay.
In our situation, it happens within an hour.
Oh,
and we actually break down materials such as plastics, any types of, like soles from your shoe, rubber, that type of material also, including any organic waste, paper waste, food waste, that type of thing.
Okay, so kind of the ultimate recycling of all that other stuff.
Exactly. In the material that we get at the end of the day, we end up with a carbon char. And that carbon char is an inert based material. It has no harmful effects on anything as far as environmental.
Oh.
And there's a lot of uses for that material also.
How interesting. Now, are you doing these projects? I mean, you're not managing the projects once they're built. So you're doing these, are you doing these for municipalities, or are you doing these for private companies, or?
In the case in Green Bay, we are doing it for a private company.
Okay.
We have been contacted by several municipalities throughout the country to look at doing it on a more of a governmental level. But in the situation in Green Bay and even in the outside the United States, we're looking more in the area of individual companies owning these and operating them. And we are helping do the management and training and everything that goes with that for these particular projects.
So you're deeply into not just the construction, but the whole operation.
Exactly. We've actually spent, over the past 2 years, developed the entire process that goes into it, as far as the pre-treatment of the material and the post-treatment of the carbon ash, the gas, and any wastewater, anything that would come off.
Okay. Well, this is a really different direction from most construction companies.
That's correct.
How did the two owners get turned in this direction? That's really fascinating.
Well, the president of the company is an engineer, and he was asked by a company to help find a good technology that they could use to dispose of waste.
Okay.
And it just kind of blossomed from there.
Oh, wow. Well, that's really up-to-date and new information. I'm sure that's fascinating to our listeners, because I had never heard about that. I mean, we're hearing about wind energy and all of that nowadays, and this is just another step in that direction. I want to tell everybody that Skip Willis is running the board for us today, and so Skip may jump in with some questions. This is such a fascinating topic.
Well, I do have a question. Are you the only company? Are there a lot of companies doing this around the world?
There are companies out there that do it, but it's mainly in the European and Asian markets. Even Australia does have some of these type of plants out there.
Pretty amazing what's going on right here in our own backyard.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Oh, it's nice to be on top of some of these new things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, you just started in 2009, so that's been a difficult environment economically to start a business too. I think that your whole business model of these recycling plants probably has helped that, but there have to have been some challenges there in starting in 2009.
Oh, absolutely. In our industry especially, it seemed to be very tough. It hit our industry very hard. But our boss has a motto. We're not going to participate in the economic downturn, is what he tells us. And if you choose to do that, he says, you're not going to be able to work here. So, and I think that motto kind of forced everybody in our company to just find a way. If there's a way to do it, we're going to find it, and we're going to work very hard to do it. We have some of the most dedicated people on our staff. Like I said, we employ over 30 of us, and I think together we have over 200 years of experience. So it's very experienced, very dedicated, very hard-working staff. And we have a great motivation, and the company leaders have really stepped up and made it a great place to work, and it helps everybody be more active within the company.
Oh, that's great news. We get so much kind of depressing news lately. It's nice to have some positive, uplifting
Absolutely.
thoughts. The principles that drive your business. Is there more you can say about that, or is that?
Well, our company motto is just to provide the best service for our customer. You know, and even our mission statement says it the best. To provide a superior design-build service to our clients by pursuing continuous innovations, training, and education in the construction and engineering industries. That's crucial for us as to move forward as a company to provide the best service that we can for our customer at the end of the day.
Super. Wow. I want to go back to your recycling because that just has me so interested right now. The product that you're recycling and where you get it, are consumers going to have to do some more sorting and stuff, or is this just going taking general waste from the regular municipalities or companies that are doing the pickups? Is there something more that's going to change in the consumers' lives in all of this?
Not at all. In fact, it could actually make the consumer's life a little bit easier. When materials come into our plant, we actually separate all the number 1s, number 2 plastics out, because even though we have a good recycling program here in Wisconsin, there is still a good amount of recycling still in the materials, or in the feedstock, we call it, as it comes in. We don't call it waste anymore, we call it feedstock. In the feedstock, there's a good portion that has to be taken out. We take out number 1, number 2 plastics. We take out any metals and aluminums that still are in there. And so the recycling rates actually go up compared to what they would be if they would just go to the landfill.
Okay. But it sounds like when you're talking about soles of shoes and other things that you're taking a lot of things like that, not just the typical recycling stuff. And making it.
Exactly. We try to remove as much as we can. Anything that's recyclable, anything that has the ability to be reused, we try to take that out. The remainder, then we just put it through, and we put it through our pyrolysis system.
Okay. Wonderful. I'm just stunned here. Go ahead.
Well, I have a question. I mean, because you're doing this. This sounds like a massive project, and a great project. We're lucky that it's being done in our, like I said, in our own backyard. But I asked you before we went on the air. I said, what are you into the construction of new homes and things like that? And you said everything. Are you finding new technology to put into these homes, and what types of homes do you build?
We've built anything from just a real basic starter home up to some fairly large homes. We've also done remodeling on some fairly large homes also, and even in commercial businesses also. We've done some very basic remodels, to go in and set up a desk for somebody to a large commercial building.
Well, you sound like you've got a team of people, that could come up with some pretty innovative ideas for somebody building a home, or I don't know if there's any technology ever coming where you're going to be able to have one of these facilities right there, and everybody will just get rid of their own waste. I think
in the future that could be a possibility, yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. Amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Our staff is quite remarkable. They have a good, diverse education background and also experience background. We have a very educated and very experienced staff, so that helps us proceed towards the future.
Right. Wow. You cover everything. That's wonderful. How do these business principles, I'm jumping around here, sorry about that, but how do these business principles then translate into the relationships with your customers?
Even though our company is only 3 years old, we've already had repeat customers. And if there is a project that a repeat customer wants to do, they come to us, and they come to us solely. And I think that has to do with just overall service and relationship that we develop with them. And I think